Hello, everyone. Today we are doing landscape with textures. Very fun and creative exercise. So here I have example. Here I have some textures to choose from. Feel free also to invent your own textures. We're going to use color pencils. And it's also nice to use double colors in between. And I'll talk about it more together with the color wheel once we get there. So first, let's take the pencil and create the landscape. So again, this is a little bit unrealistic. So you can also go a bit wild, different with your parts. What you can do, you can have like several hills. Yeah, they can also be like more curvy, as you want or as you like them to be. Yeah, so let's create like 3-4 hills to your taste. And then I suggest we create also some water scenery. So basically after the hills, you take some space up and you do a straight line that's gonna mark like the horizon. So here it can be a lake or the sea. Yeah, so we're gonna have this part as a water state. On the other side of the water, we can have some mountains. Here you can also choose how big you want them. You can also create, for example, in the start, some hills. Yeah, so maybe like the mountains doesn't start straight away. And then mountains, of course, are in the shape of triangle with like in the middle you have the line. Yeah? And then the idea is that you can make the mountains in different angles, so more sharp or more wide an angle, and have some more. So this is like the easiest way to make them. What else, like to make them more interesting, you can create from like 2 peaks. So for example, a mountain, I can have one part, and then I can go up again. So I can have 2 triangles in one mountain. And then again, bringing, so this middle line will also serve us as the light and the shadow side. Yeah, we all know again, feel free how many mountains you want. Maybe they doesn't have to be to the whole scenery. Maybe they're going to be just like 2 big mountains in the middle. It's really up to you. I see Juliet is checking the book. Are there some special mountains you wanna draw? I'll bring you. closer to mount. Also, don't make them too high, because remember that since they are on the other side, so to feel that they are far away. Ooh, stylish. I see Alex Mountain. Yeah. Nice. Still, since it's kind of imaginary landscape, we can create a sun, and we can do it kind of big. I think it's also nice. So we can. You can also see how well it's matching your mountains. You can make it smaller, bigger, but yeah, this is called using hyperbola, like on purpose, making something bigger than it is. Cool. And then you check how much space you have left on the top. So then you can decide how many clouds you want, or do you want them. I like to draw clouds with like with a straight line at the bottom and then making them curvy on top. And here again, if I want to make the feeling of the perspective going to depth, so then I make a bigger cloud at the top, and then I make smaller ones at the bottom, and then it feels as if it's going, like these ones are closer. So maybe I also make this one a bit bigger. And it's also nice, you can make clouds like going a little bit outside the paper. Yeah, it's also nice to intersect the mountains. One is in front of the other. In this example, I have a tree here, but honestly, somehow here, I don't want it. What I think I would like to put here is a boat. Yeah, maybe so. This will be the water. So I'm gonna put sailing boat in the. I think I will change it. So it's also important to view the composition. Since this boat was interacting too much with my highest mountain, I'm going to move it a bit and put somewhere here. Maybe here. And one can also, of course, make it smaller, bigger. This is the moment when you can choose yourself. What else would you like to add? Would you like to add some houses, maybe some bushes in front? Whatever comes into your mind, whatever you want the landscape to be. The trees are also, of course, fine. you let me know when you're ready, and we start together with the colors. And meanwhile, I will talk also a bit about the color choice. So since this is a bit a fantasy landscape, of course you can choose unusual colors. So the grass doesn't have to be green, the water doesn't have to be blue, and so on. But of course it also can. So it's more up to you. One can also say, okay, the landscape is already with all those textures really unusual. I will use the classical color, yeah, or I make it more unusual and make it then unusual colors for usual things.
I think I'm gonna do a boat and that's it because like I don't really want to do anything else. Like I just want it to be only a boat.
Yeah, that sounds cool to me. I absolutely agree. I went for the same. I think it looks more simple and beautiful. What else I would like to add about colors? It's also nice to mix two colors in each texture. And the way you can do it, so either you choose the colors that are close to each other, let's say purple and blue, yes, or I have dark green and light green, or I can go for the complementary colors. Yeah, I can take the blue and orange or red and green. So these are the options. Feel the one that suits you best. Somehow I find choosing the similar tones, the similar colors works better. But so leave our color wheel here so you can also again kind of check out which colors to use. Nice. So let's start making our textures. Here I have some of them, so you can choose from here. You can invent your own. What you do first, take any color that kind of speaks to you. Can be your favorite, can be just happens to grab. I suggest we start with the landscape. So with the part of the hills. One very simple way to warm up your hand is making those like curvy lines. It's a little bit like drawing letter E. So you choose one color and you start doing the curvy E letters. And in any of the landscape parts, next to you, it's nice to warm up your hand. And then I will take another color and we'll continue. So I'll have this part made in two colors that are in the same spectrum. So take, so we can then observe here it's something like purplish pink, and now I went towards the red. Also remember, when working with pencils, you can affect how hard you press. And of course, doing lines, we have to press harder. So you might have your hand a little bit tired afterwards. But what else we're going to use here in pencils is also making light background. Maybe in the next hill, we're going to check how it works. And you can fill up the areas again, with lines, with textures. Textures can be connected to the nature. So it can look like stones, can look like waves, some animal patterns, yeah, the zebra, the cow. It can be also just geometric patterns. So it can be some triangles, lines, squares, and so on. It can also be some words or letters. Like these curvy lines remind us letter E. Then you can also take a letter and make a texture out of it. So here I filled up my first hill. I'm gonna also repeat the line of it, a bit kind of uniting all the area.
I'm doing my first hill. Looks like this so far.
Oh, nice. You did the first one. Looks good. I like the, so you've chosen this pattern. Cool. So I'm going to show you with the second one, the version when you can do the lines and the background. So I invite you to choose two colors, similar. So let's say light green and dark green. First, you take the darker one, and we're gonna go doing the zigzag. And here we can also play changing the size. So let's say first I go and do the small zigzags. Yeah, just like a bit like sewing machine. And then the next layer of zigzags, for example, I can make taller, a little bit like the mountains with it. Of course, you can go also zigzags all the same size. I just also want to show you that even inside one texture pattern, you can go different. Yeah, and then I go again with the smaller one, and the next one again will be tall, and then the small. Yeah. So let's say this. Yeah. And then you take the lighter version of the color, and since this one I was pressing hard, now I can go very lightly, just all over, and I make the background with light green. So So this is also as an option. So if, for example, the texture I do is not so active with lines and I have lots of emptinesses, then this works nice with them. Yeah, and so I have filled the green with light green, and it's looking great enough. Okay, I'm going to move slowly to the third pattern. Again, I'm going to choose two colors. I'm going to take a purple and the blue. So again, I'm taking the ones that stand close to each other. And I'm going to use just a line, but again, I can make it different the way I put it. So I'm going to start with doing just like those lines. So dividing my space into some long lines that I have. And then I'm going to create the lines going down, but a bit shortened, so a bit like in a triangle shape. So from here, and like this, I'm going to leave the emptinesses that it's also in a triangle shape, and those ones I'm going to fill in with the other color. Yeah? Like, so basically it's just lines, but already we create some interesting pattern. So you can see you can be very, very creative and free with yeah. And then with another color, I can fill in so if you have a nice space and you can go like from widen up your triangle and then make it more narrow again. It looks a little bit like sand clock, the shape. So this is another pattern. You can think, what other patterns you can have. Maybe something that reminds you flowers as well. Here I have also some hearts, some leaves. Yeah. So you can move from geometrical ones again to some more nature looking.
Mine so far.
Oh, wow, looking good. I love how you managed the bright one. Nice. So you have also one hill left. Yeah, cool. Let's make it free one. Somehow I feel going for the hearts. So maybe I can also make some lines just to give some also shapy direction. And then I'm gonna fill in the heart. So again, try get inspired. Maybe something from here. You can also look around at your house, what patterns you find, you see, maybe the wallpapers, maybe the sofa, maybe anything. Okay, once the hills are ready,
I did my last one.
let's check your last one, what you've chosen. Oh, I like the lines and zigzags in one. That's cool. So we have reached the water. I would suggest still making or choosing the pattern horizontal. Yeah, since the water is something that flows horizontally. And yeah, and again, you can choose either something blue, a bit more classical, or of course you can try how it's going to look if you add other unusual color. What, for example, we can do? For example, we can choose those waves, yeah? Like also very typical classical for the water. Maybe somewhere you're going to include some horizontal lines as the waves. I'm going to play with some. So for example, I can have maybe here where the boat, maybe I can have some waves. That's kind of two. Yeah. And somewhere maybe I can have just the line. Yeah, so I can also go mixing. What else I like mixing in the wave, making those wavy lines, is the length. So here I can choose more or less the same, but then I can take maybe another color and then make them like a bit longer, like, yeah, a bit different than, so I can have shorter lines, longer lines. And this can also create some interesting effects, bit of the moving the water, as if we have wind. Well, if we have there a sailboat, and hopefully there is wind for it to sail. Yeah. Here you can also use a bit like covering the background. And maybe in this case, the background can be, instead of blue, maybe it can be greenish blue, for example. Or it can also be changing. The ship, you can leave the sails white. And the only thing you can also add a little bit of shadow under the ship. This is something same typical what you see in realistic life. Yeah. So let's check your water. You went for the pink. Ooh, awesome. And I like the waves. Looks windy. Good for sailboat.
I don't think you can see, but I did add light pink. Like, what? What? You said something. I didn't. Okay.
Oh, okay. We have reached the other side of our watershed. So before going to the mountains, we have some hills. Again, here is more free what pattern to choose. One of my favorite patterns I'm going to show you is this one, like 3 lines, horizontal, 3 vertical. Yeah, it kind of creates a bit of the feeling of the material, of the texture. So I'm going to use this one. Let's check maybe something orange. Yeah, so 3 lines like this, 3 like this. And then the second line goes the opposite. So where you had the vertical lines, you go with horizontal and the opposite. So a bit like in a chess movement. What other interesting one we can have? We can have, for example, some rhombs. Those actually look cute, especially if you choose 2 nicely matching colors. So first I do just diagonal lines to one side. And then I go with diagonal lines to the other side. Like this, I create rhomby shapes. And that's it. And then I just color. One of my favorite colors that they make is orange and pink. I think they very nicely match together. What color also is nice putting on the background is yellow. So for example, in this first hill that I did with those 3 and 3 lines, now I'm going to use yellow as the background. It always gives a bit more like sunshine to the. All right, when slowly moving to the mountains, I would like to mention a few aspects. First, mountains always have the sunny and the shadowy part. And here, important, once you choose it, it should stay this way. Although, of course, here we kind of have the sun in the back. So basically, all the mountains sides from here should be dark. But still, in them, you have to choose which side will be darker. And then you continue. So if you've chosen the left side is the shadowy, you continue the same with all the mountain parts. And what about the textures? I think here also suits something in a triangle shape. I'm going to show you two textures that I particularly like for the mountains. Then you can choose whether you want to use them. So one would be you do the first you do just parallel lines. And so I've chosen like the one side. Here. And then in the parallel lines, you create a bit like the ticks. And then in the next one, you prolong them. And then you can also color them differently. So you can either color in a chess way. You can also and maybe also use two colors to color. So for example, this is one of them. Show you a little bit. Yeah, so let me show you again maybe some other mount. Basically, you do the horizontal lines. And then you do like the ticks. And then you can choose how to color. Of course, we don't have to do all the mountains the same. But still, for example, what remember to follow is that making side, so it's a left side dark, more darker, and another side more lighter. Another texture for mountains that I like is the one with just many triangles. So for example, and I create basically many different triangles in different shape that I'm going to show you now straight away. So just many triangles in can be in chaotic way. And you can do them, for example, from both sides, and just one side you can again or choose the darker color or can color it a bit. This is my and of course you don't have to go that complicated. You can also have only just like stripes, for example. Choose the inclination and just go for the stripes. Cool. Take your time to do the mountains. They're not easy. We did several of them. They have each mountain has two sides. So Let me know, girls, when you're ready to move for the sun. Yeah, but, take your time for the mountains, don't worry.
What I have so far.
Let me check your mountains. Oh, the one with the this dark bluish rooms is really cool. And the other one with squares. Nice. Okay, have I see one more mountain in the back?
This I did with marker, the one with flowers. Because I saw someone do it when they were painting a rock and then I did it and now I do it with markers.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that looks lovely. All right, let's move slowly to the sun. Is it okay? Yeah, awesome. So again, either you can choose the classical colors, that of course will be yellow and orange. You can of course go for unusual colors, maybe your sun will be green. But still, I will stay with the classical ones. Yellow gives warm feeling. And again, as we used horizontal lines for the water, and we used some Sharpie triangle way for mountains. So the sun, of course, likes the lines that goes in its shape. So what you can do, you can have, for example, create the lines, like the longer strokes. This will look a little bit the Van Gogh style. Yeah. And what else you can do here, you can change the intensity of the strokes. So first you can put them maybe more close together, then less, or the opposite. So, and then you can also make some strokes outside your sound, so even a little bit down. And then I take yellow and just color in. Yeah, the yellow color, since he's so light, it really is hard to work with it just as a line base. It's hard to see. Basically, I took the orangey lines and then colored. So this, of course, is more or less classical way to do the sun. You can be as creative as you want. Yeah, maybe you want just
This is what mine looks like. I haven't colored my boat though.
yeah. Oh, nice. Very active. I like how it's being active behind the mountain. Awesome. Well, we are reaching almost the end of our landscape. So we have clouds and sky left. Again, any color for your clouds. Can be green, can be pink. What you can, like, for example, observe your painting now and then decide which color is matching better, maybe which one is missing, or the opposite, like, oh, it's already more like in these tones and so on. Yeah, so I think I will go with somehow green speaks to me, although, well, I'll experiment with green. So again, different patterns can work for mountains. For example, those whirly ones, these ones can work very good. Also, this one, for example, the messy one. And I think I'm going to do this one, the messy one. But again, the way I'm going to do it, I'm going to create more messy lines at the bottom. And I'm going to create a bigger curvy lines at the top. Like this, my cloud also going to look differently. And then again, I can take the other color and help it. Why I'm doing the bottom more heavy? So this is typical also for the rainy clouds. Because if the cloud is rainy, it's going to have the straight bottom because the water is already there. And my clouds gonna have some rain. Why not? And I'm gonna do here is very stylish raindrops that one can do. So more like a chains. Important, you do them with different distance. So for example, some closer to each other, some more far away. And what else I like to do is to change the direction. So some clouds, the rain go straight, and some is being with some diagonal direction, and so on. Yeah? So of course, you can decide not to have a rain, but I find it more like it's a springy rain. So this is my version for the clouds and the rain. And then you can either leave them empty, or you can color some of them, of these drops. Tell me.
I'm almost done. I just want to do the sky a little bit more.
Cool, yes. Let me show you my way to do the sky, and then you can also do your way how you want it. So for example, just to fill in what I can do, I can, at the top, I can move a little bit in the cloud shape. Yeah, and here, just like the strokes. Also, for example, I don't choose very active color. So I let clouds to be more active. I'm going to show you now. The pencil is light. So the upper part, I kind of follow the the cloudy shape and make lots of stripes. And the bottom part, I just make straight lines among the rain. So it also follows a little bit where I have diagonal rain, I do diagonal lines. And then it helps me kind of quickly fill in the space. And so it helps not overdoing, but still kind of filling the space and keeping it more in background.
I'm done.
Nice, excited. Awesome artwork, Ellie. Oh, and the ship, yeah, I like how it's bright looking. Oh, that's nice. Find this place for your signature.
What?
Find a place for your artistic signature on your beautiful paint. You can have it hidden a bit. If you don't want it, or then you can sign it on the back as well.
I don't have a signature, and I'm trying to like come up with one.
Take your time. I mean, it doesn't have to be today, but thinking about it is good. Start, let's say, just with your name's first letter and with your surname's full letter. Just put the dot, or maybe just your name written in a bit stylish way, a bit maybe edgy, whatever. But important, you keep on trying, and then one day you will find one that you love and you're gonna use it. What else good is to put the signature and the year. Yeah, so again, we don't need the day and the month. Year is enough. Yeah, but still it's important to kind of mark them when the painting was done. So now we're going to put the signature and 2025. Awesome, that was exciting drawing, very colorful, creative. You can also create your textures map, let's say. Whenever you come up with some texture, you see one interesting, so you can have it record on a paper, and then you have it as like a cheat sheet. So then if you say, what texture should I do? And then you can always look up and choose one. Now, I'm going to stop recording, but I'm of course excited how Juliet did today.